Zach is on his Reanimater deck, and I'm on Jeskai Whirza, and oh man, there are a couple points in this game where my butthole is clenched, and there's a couple games in this game where his butthole is clenched. We're just like, all right.
This is gonna be a long game.
They are closer than comfort games.
Right. I guess
for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you guys both just kind of shoot your shot and then just kind of sit there.
Yeah, we both like, do we get there?
Right. I have more than you.
Yeah. So it's like I have Narset, I think Bridge, Ending, and a couple land and a Narset. So I was like, this is keepable. I think it's like 3 lands. I was like, okay, I'll be able to hit all my stuff. Do it next time.
I don't want Warden to get demonetized.
I wouldn't get demonetized, but I would probably get banned.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I meant.
Twitch has updated their stuff, so I've actually like read through all of it. I'm like, yeah, let's be safe here.
Yeah.
So turn 2 is like, yep. Croxa? Yeah, so Croxa.
What's the open a pack? What's this open a pack in the channel point reward?
We haven't updated that. So when we're doing regular like live streams to like this one, I need to get product back in. People save enough points. We'll crack one of our inventory packs on stream and show people what we end up pulling for our store. We literally got our store stuff situated, so now it's like, okay, now we're trying to get all the streaming stuff and commentary stuff back up. Since we had to actually go through and get a new business license and now doing a bunch of other things. That took
Everybody was moving and doing stuff like that too. So it's just been kind of crazy.
Yeah, so we finally everything settled down, good to go.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm like, alright, Steam
What's the land that you played?
It's a Raugrin Triome, the foil fancy one, the Jeskai.
Oh, okay.
Triome from Ikoria.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
also, Eric, it's not Jund. You don't play green, so you're not true Jund. You're just a filthy wannabe.
Right, so it's like, oh, and that's a priest. So I'm like, oh, okay, so Zach's playing Reanimater. Good to know.
I'm up to 65. I'm better. Is better than Jund.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Ooh.
I'm up to 65 fat pack boxes of bulk.
Jesus. I mean, that's not surprising.
Is better than Jund. No.
So,
my answer to you is: do you play Run in 6? You don't.
So looking at like, so looks like I had the option to grab Galvanic Blast or Bobble, and I chose to grab Bobble. So I'm like, alright, let me see what Zach's gonna be drawing here. So I'm like, I'm gonna Bobble you. So turn it over. Lingering Souls. Like, no, alright. I was like, alright, Lingering Souls is. I mean, it's for my deck. It's not as annoying to deal with because I make Thopters. I can just block Lingering Souls typically. But it's just one of those like, alright, there's a value card. She's like, Unmarked Grave, and I'm like, oh no. Because he gets that, now he can just sack the priest to then get his creature back.
That's so good.
But I was like, he's like, alright, so I had to sack a creature planeswalker, so I have sacked Narset, which is like, also,
And discard.
And then I lose 3 and he gains 3. Like he doesn't gain any because it does cost 3 for the priest to activate, so he stays there and I lose 3. There we go.
God, Modern is so fast now.
I mean, we might get Splinter Twin back.
If Splinter Twin comes back, I'm boom
You're
back.
in? Alright.
I'm boom back. That's all I gotta say.
Draw for Bobble, draw for turn.
That's how you get me back into Magic. Splinter Twin unbanned, alright. Dropping it.
Right. So I was looking, I was like, alright, that's how big? Good. Bridge. Pass.
I honestly don't even care if it's good, I just like the deck.
The big argument against Splinter Twin that people have been saying now is 3-drop to Fairy, because you would just go Jeskai for 3-drop to Fairy, because then your opponents couldn't interact with you.
Right.
But I'm like, that forced them to take an extra turn off, though. So, like...
Well, I mean, in reality, like, old Splinter Twin, what you'd do on turn... Well, 1 second. Let's see what he's doing first.
Alright, 3. So, like, it's kind of like, do you have a K command? No, he's like, Season Pyromancer. I'm like, yeah, alright.
That's fine. Discarding.
Lingering
yeah.
Soul. I mean, like we know Lingering Soul is gonna be one of the discards. I don't know what the other one was.
So good.
Yeah.
But what Splinter Twin would do on turn 3 is they'd hold up to 3 mana, and then at the end of your opponent's turn, you play Deceiver Exarch or Pessimite, and then you just win the next turn.
Right, but I'm saying like with Teferi, right? Like on your turn, they can't like attempt to Splinter Twin, like boom,
honestly,
kill a creature. So
honestly, I can see Splinter Twin playing Ragavan,
I mean,
and like doing that too. And
well, I mean, like you're
yeah.
This is like it's kind of like well, there's no reason not to. So, all right, make us 2 tokens.
I just honestly miss playing with Snapcaster Mage. I love that card. I think it's honestly my favorite card to play with. Ban 3 Fairy, unban Twin. Let's go. I'm down. I'm 100% down. 100% down.
Screw you both. I just bought a place in the new secret lair with the old school Teferis. Heck you both.
Just play Creature Teferi. Like I did in my Splinter Twin list. When I won with my list, not Liam's list, my list.
I thought you guys were playing. What's his face?
We were.
The Teamer guy.
We were.
That's not Teferi.
We were also playing Teferi.
Why? Why'd you play both?
Because Teferi was a win against control decks, which was a thing then. And
All right,
then
I guess.
and then Sarkhan, the 6/6, was blocking Gurmag Anglers. Because that
but he
was
also
the
made-
blue-red Delver decks, Grixis Delver and stuff.
Alright, that's fair.
Because Treasure Cruise and
Yep.
bullshit like that.
It's like, well, we'll cast Urza, trigger, get a construct. So I have a second Urza plus other things in hand.
Fun fact, they reviewed my list on, I can't remember what MTG thing it was.
I want to say it's probably Starseer China Fireball. So whoever hosted it, that one.
Yeah.
So.
And I got called out. Heck yeah. Not Liam. I did. It was my list that I definitely didn't copy from Liam and change one card or two.
Yeah. Alright, so 5. So he's going to Unburial Rights.
Boo, Urza.
Right, so it's God. Zach hit really good this game. So he was like,
oh god.
Unearth that guy, crack him, pay 3 life, get the Ashen Rider to exile Bridge. And I was like, it's really good. So I have a Whir in hand, so like I was thinking like I could Whir for 0 to like dig me cards, and then I can hopefully try and combo. Because like the Archon attacking, I would have to sack the construct.
Right.
See, I choose not to. I think that was a mistake. Oh, I think I was with the Whir in my hand. I was like, if I draw. So I have a land, so I think the way I was looking at it was, and a push.
Yeah,
so like, that just sealed my fate. Because I had top draw outs.
It's pretty over now.
Yeah, he's just way ahead now. Right, trigger, I've sacrificed creatures, so I'm like the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That doesn't go there.
Plus his trigger, right. So 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, so I think I go like to 4. I go to 1. I was like, cool.
Yeah,
like,
okay,
discard.
Good. And next game.
Yep. So I was like, oof.
No.
Like, the top drops for Zach were really good that game. I was like, this bridge
You know
might
what?
save me.
Considering what happened to him against Ryan, he deserved that. That.
This is a different night, so heck you.
Oh, is it a different night?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I guess he's wearing a hat. Well, he had his hair in a ponytail.
That's fair. Yeah. So, like, I'm just bringing in, like, Ashiok's Torpor Orb was another card I brought in, and then I brought, so in this version I had 3 fairies in the board.
Okay.
So I was, like, just trying out different things. Like, Ashiok's very good, like, because the Teferi, like, down take and putting the big creature back in the hand. Like, okay, cool, now I gotta put him back into a graveyard.
Can you see Swords to Plowshares coming to Modern?
No.
Why?
Uh,
Doesn't White need the bump?
no. So
Really?
Really. So we got the closest that we are going to get for Swords of Plowshares, which was the Solitude.
Eric's like, please.
Yeah. No. So I think the closest we're going to do is what they did with Modern Horizons 2, is having the evoke creatures have those abilities.
Okay.
Because like Solitude, right? Like it's a 5 mana 3/2, 3/2, 3/3 somewhere like anyway. So 5 mana flash. ETB, Swords to Plowshare something, but you can also evoke it by exile a white card from your hand. So I think that's the closest we're going to get to actual Swords to Plowshares in Modern. Because, like, when Swords to Plowshares first came out, we just thought, oh yeah, life gain is a fair trade for a problem creature. And it's like, I was like, I mean, at the time, like, in old school Magic, that's true, that's fine. But, like, now, no. Like, a life trade to take out a Goyf gives the person casting Swords to Plowshares a bigger advantage.
Alright, hypothetical.
Okay.
What would happen if Birthing Pod would come back in the format? Like, I wonder how much it would shake. So I know, Eric, but it's just a hypothetical. Just a hypothetical. I know it's never gonna happen.
Here's the thing, right? So hypothetically, then the red-black, Luris decks then splash green for Birthing Pod, because so be able to like sack.
Doesn't Luris say permanent spells can't be above?
You don't have his companion anymore. I'm saying like those decks now add the green for Birthing Pod, because now you can go from a mana dork, like you sack a mana dork to get a Kroxa. Now the Kroxa has the ETB effect, right?
Yeah, you're right.
And so it's just like, oh no, you start doing those kind of things, like whoa.
Because I mean, when it got banned, it was too good because it was running like Kitchen Finks, and then it turned into a value deck that just survived, and then it just killed you with infinite damage at the end.
Right, and so that's the problem, is that like now you have creatures like with really good ETBs, like hey, like I'll go get Kroxa. Yeah, this goes to the graveyard, but like I took a card from my opponent, boosted life, and now I can just recast it and then like upgrade it again later. It's just like
the point of that conversation, Eric, wasn't, hey, let's unban the Birthing Pod, it's fair. It was, how broken would it be now? Because it was broken when Modern was relatively slow.
Yeah, no, I say with the ETB effects that some of these creatures have now, it's just like, okay, right, but especially like, especially with the new,
not even slow, it was more fair, surprisingly, it was more fair.
It was a grinding deck. Like, granted, like now we do have more answers, but like, I mean, if you just look at the elementals that came in Modern Horizons 2,
right,
it's just oof, right. So be able to like go from like let's say a Kroxa into the green one, like oh my opponent's on like Dredge or Ragavan, cool.
Right.
Put your graveyard, shuffle your graveyard like onto the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And then like, I'm gonna upgrade that into like something else, and like I'm gonna upgrade that into the Swords to Plowshare creatures. Like Jesus, okay.
Do you think they could unban the artifact lands?
No. Okay. The closest that we will get is...
don't talk about that thing.
Yeah. No, so the closest... Wizards did pseudo-fix that, because they did give us dual land artifact lands.
That's fair. I forgot about that.
But they do come into play tap. So like that's like their pseudo like fix. It's like, hey, if you're playing Affinity, this pseudo counts as a mana. The turn it comes into play.
I think they could do more for Affinity, because... let's be honest. No, I do know, but I mean, as in like, let's be honest though that what does it say?
Is it
Gorilla Shaman? Yeah.
No.
Gorilla? No. Simian Spirit Guide can stay away.
Right, but I can't cast Chalice on one and turn one anymore.
Exactly.
So
F you prison decks.
So looking at it. Like, 2 mystery cards, I'm like, Urza Saga. Like, Urza Saga has put Affinity back up into a good position.
Yeah, I mean, they really took a hit when, not Mishra's Bobble, Box Opal was banned.
Yeah.
It's like, no shit, so. What?
Yeah, no, so it's the 1-drop red, you pay XX to destroy target artifact.
Yeah.
So, like, you can just, like, blow up artifact lands. So the problem with that is, it's 1, so it's XX and 1, so you have to like pay 1 and tap it to blow up 1, so you can't like just blow up multiple things.
Yeah.
The problem with that is like, if you look at the no ban list, Affinity list, no, it doesn't matter. So if you look at the no ban list Affinity list, like it's still. Like, Affinity was just the best deck in bottom. It's like, hey, like, turn 1, dump my hand. Especially now with, like...
Isn't it just Infect? Because of, burning...
Oh, it wasn't even that. It's just like, hey, like, here's turn 1, literally I just dump my hand.
Yeah.
Like, here's 2 2/2s and a 4/4 on turn 1. Hi.
Yeah,
that are, like, gigantic, like, CMCs.
I think Infect was the one that, with, burning, whatchamacallit, I can't think of it.
Oh, Affinity was faster than E-Tron. That was a scary thing. Is Affinity was faster than E-Tron. And no bandless modern, Affinity was faster than
What's
E-Tron.
not Burning Inquiry? Why am I saying Burning Inquiry? It's the...
Goblin Lore?
No, I'm talking about the banned red card that buffs attack based off of...
Oh, Blazing Shoal.
Yeah, Blazing Shoal. Infect was the king because of Blazing Shoal. Because it just goes, cool, Blazing Shoal, you're dead. Next game?
Well, assuming they didn't block the Infect. Have a way to deal with the Infect creature.
Right.
But yeah.
I remember old Affinity, when it was actually Affinity.
Yeah, we were just like... Affinity and Standard was gross.
Wait, no tap. Wait. What are you saying? E-Tron, what? Looking? What are you looking?
Anyway. So Urza Saga triggered, I went and got Soul Guide Lander to take away his Grave Titan. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No. You don't know.
This is the game where Warden plays with himself and then Zach kind of just sits there, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So we're going to see how the deck works.
I was like, yeah, so the nice thing with the Urza Saga is that I'm able to float a
I
mana.
played a Russian Nursing Soul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, looting.
A Faithful
unbanned
Looter is not
off.
going to get an unbanned.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Right, so Zach was like, huh. Well, so I was like, Urza Trigger on the stack. He's like,
I think they
Axe.
printed enough replacements for Faithless Looting,
Yeah.
honestly, but nothing can replace Faithless Looting because it's good, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Right. So constructs, I'm like, alright, it's 2/2. So pass. So I'm like, alright, so he has Croaks plus 3 cards. I'm like, okay, so I don't have to worry about cracking that thing. If he tries to cast a revival spell, I have the Soul Guide Lantern up. So
Yeah, unban Grave Troll. Do it again.
he's like, hard cast the Merchant of the Veil, I think, is the whatever his name is. So I'm just like, So I'm looking, so I have Goblin Engineer and I have Thopter Foundry in hand. So I think I was like, alright, Goblin Engineer, going to put Sword in the bin.
So good.
Yeah.
So that tutors something into your graveyard.
I can put an artifact from my
That's
deck into
so
the graveyard.
cool.
Any artifact. Doesn't have to be
Yeah.
CMC 3 or less. So if I wanted to, I could throw like a Dark Steel Forge.
You and your toolbox decks.
Look, I know my playstyle, I know what I'm good at. So I tap for the Ether Spell Bomb to make my construct a 3/3.
I hope they do.
Yeah, so yeah, the 15 plus troll, yeah.
Yeah. You missed out on the last time. They're not going to do it again. They tested the waters with Grave Troll unbanned, but then they dredged too good.
Well, the problem is that, right, like, it's ridiculous how much of a difference 5 to 6 makes.
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely astounding.
Oh, I didn't miss out. That's why I got 15 left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so like next turn, I have Thopter Founders in hand, I'll be able to start comboing. Especially when I have the soul up.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I think Zach's just like debating, because he doesn't have enough for Croxa right now. So I'm like, this is fine.
Zach is the master at debating.
There are some very tough choices he does have to make here. Like, do you go to the point of? So it's like, okay, like he's still one short for Croxa. So as long as I have like a bobble, I'm fine. But if he like cracked a bobble, I'm like, no. Like,
Right.
graveyard can go away.
What's in your hand right now?
I know I have a Thopter Foundry. I think it's double Thopter Foundry, if I remember correctly.
Ha, fun. I'm glad you caught it.
So, right, because yeah, Croaks is 5 to escape. So he's
Yeah.
like 3. So he's choosing to Kaya's Guile here, exiling my graveyard, which is super good. like I didn't keep a mana up, which I probably should have for sack a creature. So I could have then just like saved the sword of the goblin. So that was pseudo my fault. But he's like swing, and I was like, all right.
Sounds good.
Yep.
Ooh.
So I ended up drawing a torpor orb, which was something I've been trying out in the sideboard.
Hey.
So like, granted, like I lose my goblin and Whirza ETBs, but like with Zach, right? So like his Croxa ETB no longer works. His Archon ETBs no longer work. His Grave Titans ETBs no longer work. And so like, I lose some, but my opponent loses more.
His Kitchen Finks ETBs are just gone.
Right. Oh man. Later. So yeah, so like it was, I do take a slight disadvantage, but like since the goblin's already on the board, it's like any like artifact I put into the graveyard. So it's like flashback Croxa. I'm like, see, once he had the 5, I should have just exiled his graveyard so he didn't immediately have it. So that was a pseudo mistake on my part.
Yeah. No ETB, which is beautiful.
Yeah. But he doesn't get the attack trigger, so I'm like, alright, sack it, draw a card, which we find a bridge.
Did you?
We did. We got a bridge off the top there.
Beautiful.
Yep. So the problem is that if he has any kind of removal, though.
20 each sellout now. Orb is 20. Bitter Blossoms I had when they unbanned it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like bridge. So if he has any kind of artifact destruction, it's just like, it's pseudo bad for a turn for us. But if he doesn't have it like right now, I can survive. So I have 3 cards in hand, so currently Croaks can't attack, but if he has like a K command, where he can blow up my bridge and like make me lose 2 at 7, I'm forced to block. I'm like, yeah, okay, well I'm not going to block, since you can't attack with Croxa, I don't worry about that trigger.
To activate the goblin, is it cost mana?
It costs 1 red.
Okay.
It's like, alright, push the goblin. I'm like, alright, yeah, that's fair.
And fine. Nice.
Right. So like, I have a Whir up.
And you have a Thopter Foundry too.
I have 2 Thopter Foundries. So I think, in my head, like I'm pretty sure I just want to like pass the turn, keep 3 cards up, because if he gets artifact destruction, I can go Whir for a welding jar, and save like this Singer Bridge, which is very vital right now.
Right. Which is what you're doing.
So it's like discard that with Unburied Rights. So like discard draw, so discard Unburied Rights. I'm like, that's fine. I still have the Soul God Lantern up. What's also so what's also nice is I can also Whir for 2 and still keep mana up and then sack Soul God Lantern to draw additional card. I'm like, yeah, I'll go to 5. Like I was like, bolt me.
Do it. I don't. Does he run bolt?
I mean, I would seriously doubt it, but it's just like
he's even said. I think you even said it too.
It's like, come on, bolt me, let's go. I was like, all right, like I was like, where's the K command on the bridge so they can swing with Croxa and win?
What do you Whir for here now?
So I Whir for 2. I want to see if he responds, because like if he has an artifact destruction, he's gonna blow up the bridge now. If it's the case, then I would go get Sword of the Meek, because I have Thopter Foundries in hand. Because then I can play it and then make 2 Thopters, still chump block.
Right.
And then I can slowly grind my way ahead of him.
Is your sword exiled right now?
Yeah, 1 sword is.
Yeah.
There's still another one in the deck, and so that's what we're going for. That's the initial one. But I said, like, if he didn't do anything, so like, all right. So he has wear tear, so like he's definitely like, he's going to blow up something. He's going to blow up the bridge. It's like, yeah, that's fine. That's kind of why I tapped the bridge.
Right.
So like, yeah. So at this point, I'm just like, we go for the sword because we have the Thopter Foundry in hand.
It goes to the board, right?
It goes straight onto the board. So that's the nice thing with the Whirs is that if you get Pithy Needle, they have no chance to respond. So we got to land. So I'm like, Foundry. He's like, yep. So my debate was like, do I take 2 damage here?
Yep.
To make extra Thopters? And I was like, yes. because the card in my hand is going to get discarded to Kroxa, and I'm not going to lose 3 life because it's a Thopter Foundry. It's not a land. So I'm like, I can make chump blockers, and I'm still alive. And so now I'm like, okay, now I'm playing at the top of my deck. If I find Whirza, I just win.
Right.
So that's, like, currently that is the out that I'm playing to.
Yo,
Man, this makes...
You have foil swamp?
I'm sure I have... Well, I mean, I know our store has a few. I don't think... I think I have, like, 1 snow-covered foil swamp from the original Modern Masters. Or Modern Horizons. Whatever it is. The thing that had Whirza originally. So at this point, like, I'm feigning any kind of, like, additional artifact removal, because granted I can, like, sack sword 3 times, but he blows up that foundry.
Right.
It's like, okay, well now I'm back behind again. So Zach was like, okay, like, he's like, I'm gonna haggle, discard that, draw a card. So he has an unmarked grave. So he doesn't have any way, I guess, he could unmark, if he has land, he could unmark grave and, like, bring back a Grave Titan.
I need 69. Oh, he just swamps in general.
Yeah. I don't think so. He's like, so just sack Kroxa. I was like, cool. Thopter Foundry. Like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I was like, I do this very carefully because I'm like, alright, sack sword. Because if he has like a surgical or whatnot, I have other artifacts up I can sacrifice to bring back sword before it gets surgical. Mike learned this the hard way.
Yeah.
And I did Torpor Orb and block, so I'm like, I gain a life. Because I still have the Soul Guide Lantern, so I'm like, if he tries to put a thing in the grave and revive it, I just immediately crack the Soul Guide Lantern.
Right.
So I still have an out for myself. So he's like, land, crack it, draw.
Oh, you blocked too.
Yeah, I did. Oh, quite. It's a 6/6 trope, so I have to.
I was like, where did your token go? And I was like, oh wait, you just blocked.
He came in, said hi, saw Kroxa,
and then died.
Yep. and then boop, Kroxa in the snoot, distract him and left. Boop, gone.
What's the card again? The goblin that flickers all the time. Eric, what goblin am I thinking
I'm
of
like,
that flickers?
sack sword.
Oh, Norin. It's not a goblin.
Yeah, but yes, Norin. Trigger. I was like, you know what? If you have artifact removal, I sack sword. Like, if you have artifact removal or like graveyard hate, you got it. Okay, my cool. Up to 6. Okay, we have some points, so we're hoping to top draw Whirza. I'm like, Whirza. I'm like, okay, do you have any creature removal? He's like, no. I'm like, cool, combo. He's like, yep. Okay. So at that point, I'm like, cool. I'm like, at that point, like, just gain a million life, make a million Thopters. Board wipe.
Right.
That's fine.
And even then, Whirza, boo!
Yes, Whirza does go boom. Alright. Well, I said, like, that one, right? Like, the bridge came in handy, that Torpor Orb.
Right.
That's, like, that 3 life actually mattered of me stopping it.
If so, I did all foil swamps.
Okay, I'll look, but I'm pretty sure we don't have 16 matching foil ones. I mean, no, Eric, just get 16 of the Bob Ross ones from the secret layer. Alright, game 3, and I said, like, the first 2 games were, like, surprisingly close. Like, Zach had to, like, top draw the 2 perfect things that he did to beat me, and that one, I ended up feigning some draws and top drawing perfectly.
Well, I mean, you stabilized, to be fair, like, even without
with
the
yeah, I mean, with the Thopter, so, like, even if he was attacking on me losing 3, I'm like, I have 5 mana up, I can gain 5 and still have block, because eventually get to a point where I'm going to be swinging back and dealing more damage and gaining more life.
I want those cards.
I don't even know. Oh, yeah, no, we got to pick our promo. And I was like, I think the only one I didn't have was the dig through time. I think, yeah. Alright. No, while they're doing that, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Can I go refresh my drink?
I got 150 unglues. Hey, there you go, Eric. 100. Are they foil unglued? Wait, unglued swamps aren't foil, are they? Never. He just likes taunting you, Eric. I mean, that's a pretty daring thing to do, isn't it?
Alright. Alright. Oh, what? We haven't even started yet? Terrible.
No.
Man, I cooked like a full 4-course meal out
Wait,
there.
Goblin Guide is a promo?
Old school,
That's sick.
promo, yeah.
That's sick.
Who's Liam's friend that plays goblins? Also,
Liam.
also plays Smash Bros.
Blaine.
Blaine. So we were able to get Blaine a playset.
Nice.
So,
That's
so
sick.
we got his set upgraded.
That's cool.
All right, no turn one play from the graveyard deck. I'm like, that's fine. I'm like, bobble welding jar, pass.
Alright, who comes up on top? Reanimator or Warden?
I mean Whirza, because Urza's the best.
I opened too much. Oh, they're talking about unglued
Oh yeah, I
swamps.
gotcha. So I think I was looking at it, and I think the choice was depending if I wanted to bobble myself to determine if I wanted to fetch or not. Then I couldn't have a turn 2 play in hand, but I do have a path for whatever creature if he's going to revive quick. I had an answer for it at least with a path.
Let's see. You have Path, you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was like my debate. Is I think it depending on how it goes, if I bobble him or me, but like also having a welding jar up just early is like, hey,
Right. Yeah.
you don't play green. I don't have to worry about a force of
Whatever. Vigor.
vigor. Yeah.
It's Vigor.
Okay. So he's just like discard lingering souls. Like
I
yeah.
know my Jund colors. That's all I got. Old Jund colors cards.
Yeah. All right. So he's like take 2 flashback lingering souls.
Do you have a pet card in your deck? That isn't Karn? Oh, wait, Karn's probably not in this.
Con on
is
this
it?
one. I mean, alter the brutes is like the win con. That's always just a fun one anyway.
Okay.
So
Like my fun card was always Olivia Voldaren because
right.
if it sticks, you're just
So-
golden.
Yeah, so
or
draw
Hunt
for-
Master.
Draw for bobble, draw for turn. I was like, I got altar in hand.
No land.
Well, I have plenty of land. So I was like, it's just like I'm debating on how I want to, because he has the double lingering souls out. So I was like, all right, so we're gonna go turn 1. So we'll go altar. I was like, I think I go fetch shock, trigger altar, make a mill, grave time. Which I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. But you know what's better? Soul Guide Lantern. So I'm like trigger,
It is.
like trigger. I'm like, I'm gonna have the altar resolve first. I'm like, cool. I'm like, and I'm gonna exile you.
This is beautiful for
Right.
you.
I mean, it's helpful.
Shields down though for the graveyard.
No, because I can just sack the Soul Guide Lantern and exile his graveyard.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Is that what it said? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the tap ability is.
Interesting.
Zach does have a second Lingering Souls in hand though, so he's going to be able to apply a lot of pressure to the board. All right, and I was like, oof. I'm like double path, like yeah. So I was, so I was like, all right, Saga. Saga I think is the correct choice here.
Yeah. Saga's pretty good for you right now.
Well, so the debate in my mind is like, do I put the Hollow Fountain to play tapped and then play Saga? I was like, no, I want to play Saga because I want to be able to get the artifact off of it soon.
Why you do this, Warden? You needed that? Used to go to Ron's on Knob Hill.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember that. That's the place I miss the most is the Knob Hill Ron's.
So, right, so he's like, I was like, during your upkeep, I'm just gonna exile his graveyard,
Oh.
so he can't flashback Lingering Souls. So I'm like 4 power on the board's already bad, and I didn't bring in Anger of the Gods,
Right.
so it's just like oof. Because I'm like he's a graveyard centric deck.
That's a
like,
clock.
yeah, because I saw like I should have probably brought in some number of Anger of the Gods because game 1 I did see Season Pyromancer and Lingering Souls, but like in my head it was like no I got to work with the big creatures.
Right.
It's like no like I got to work with the smaller ones because like Anger like for the like Priest of Fell Rights and like Season Pyromancer exiles them automatically, so I don't have to worry about them coming back and doing things.
And why do this one? You needed that.
Yeah.
And I came in trying to sell 2 Tiger boxes for 100. Oh,
Yeah, so discards 2 cards. It's 2 tokens. So like he's just putting on like massive board pressure here. So I'm like draw, uptick. So I was like, so I have a Thopter Foundry in hand. So like my debate now is like, do I just take? Should I take 2, go to 9? I can then cast Thopter Foundry. And he mills over a Grave Titan. So I was like, alright, that's not what I want to see. But because I have Urza in hand, I'm like, I have to play to the outs. I'm like, Thopter Foundry, mill 1, that's 2nd season, that's fine. So I can protect my Thopter Foundry because I have Welding Jar. So I'm effectively hoping for a top draw sword to just combo.
yeah. I mean,
Right. So I have a draw, and then like Urza Saga is going to go find me a 1-drop artifact, which... Like, that's, like, one of the things is, like, alright. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he can put me to 1. So, like, I'm literally just like, alright, I need to... So I was like...
activate.
Yeah, well, I was like, I can sack that to go to 10, block 1 of the... There, so I was like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, put me down to 3. So I was like, at this point, if I combo, I don't need the altar to win. I would just have life and
Right.
tokens, because like he can't beat me another way at that point.
Will Warden get it? Or a word? Word doesn't save you, actually.
Yeah, so War wouldn't save me. It would literally it would have to be Sword of the Meek off the top, because it's like Urza trigger. Would give me a construct and like where I could work for 0. Oh, I guess I could work for 1, but that's just not enough. If I top drew a whir, like I have double path in hand.
Did you have to tap the white?
Yeah, to cast Thopter Foundry.
Oh, okay.
That's just also the weird thing with like this deck is sometimes I'll get into these like land. Like, with the Urza
Issues.
Sagas, especially Urza Sagas, 1 producing colors.
Right.
So I draw a card, it's a land, so I'm like, alright, well, we're going to go to 1-drop. I think let's go get Grafdigger's Cage. Because that just seems like the best option at that point. I was testing with Underworld Cookbook, but the more I've played with it, the less I like it.
Gotcha.
It was like it was a discard outlet for like swords and whatnot, and then I could pay for like bring a creature back, so you bring Urza back from the graveyard to my hand.
What's that?
Altar, or Grafdigger's Cage.
Okay.
So like I was like Grafdiggers, because that at least shuts down
Graveyard.
your stuff coming back from the graveyard.
Bet you wish one of those paths was an anger.
Actually, I wish one was patched with the sword, but you know.
Yeah.
So I was like Urza, trigger, get a construct.
And dead?
So I can block 2 things on the ground, and I can sack an artifact to make a Thopter. So I'm not dead here, assuming he doesn't have any removal or a way to deal extra damage.
Block. Thopter, gain a life, so you go to 1.
I would go to 1, yes. So I'm not sure what's in his hand, but if he has ways to like interact with my board, it's kind of like, ouch. Okay.
All right. Literally, you guys should just look at the top of your library to see if it's a Thopter. That would
Let's
be
see if it's a sword.
Well,
Sword or whir.
Yeah.
Sword or whir. Like either one would get me there.
That's what you guys should do if he has nothing.
I mean, like I don't know he has nothing, so it's like, all right, so we gotta go through the motions. Like okay. So I'm like, yeah, tap, sack. So I'm like, now if you have any artifact destruction. So I'm like, okay. It's like Thopter's gonna block one of the flyers. I was like, Whirza blocks one of the 1/1s.
Construct blocks the big boy.
Yeah, Construct's gonna block the 2.
How big is the big boy? Or the actual card?
It's a 2/2.
Oh,
Season Fire matches there, like there.
Right,
so
right,
like,
right,
so
yeah.
then I'm like, yeah, 3 unblocked. It's like,
Is it the
does.
construct a 3/3?
Once the Thopter token goes away, it's a 3/3. So it has 2 damage on it.
Gotcha.
So if he's able to deal 1 more damage to it, it would die.
Yeah.
So now it's just like the 2 flyers are the issue, but I do have a path to deal with one of them. So I could sack the Grafdigger's Cage to then like block the other one, but it's just like.
Right.
I see a lot of land in his hand. He's like, fetch. It's like, yeah.
On burial rights? Cool.
No. He
Because you
can't.
have graph diggers, I know.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like that and Croxa. Like no, those are like the saving factors right now. I'm like, okay, he can't Croxa me. He can't. Okay, so like, if I can like somehow deal with his board state, we're good. He's like Season Pyromancer. I was like, oh, he's gonna dig 2 cards deeper. Oh no. Alright, so he's like 1.
Gotta make the tokens, dude.
Well, yeah, he's gonna make 1 token.
I know.
Like, get 1, draw 2 cards. I think he's hoping for like a removal spell. Just like that. He's like Inquisition. I'm like, okay, well you get a path. So we're on top draw plus the Whirza ability, I guess technically.
You didn't get it. You would have flipped it already.
Oh yeah, if I got it right. But I do have an Whirza. Oh, they're like, oh yeah, put on masks. I was like, oh yeah, all right. So I was like, can I do this in a way? It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to keep a white up in case. So I was like, all right, like I'm just gonna, like.
What is it?
That's a land in my hand. So like, I mean, if I also flip over like a ensnaring bridge, that also saves me. So I'm just like, all right, let's see.
What did you do, sorry?
I activated Whirza. It's pay 5 mana, exile the top card. I'm like, it's a land. I'm like, all right, land for turn. I'm like, yeah, Path is Seasoned.
Only gain 1 life.
I don't gain any life.
Oh,
But I said, like, I can. The problem is that, like, if I sack Grafdigger's Cage, they can bring back Croxa and I'm dead. So I'd have to sack the Thopter Founders, and it puts me in such a bad position. The thing Zach is looking for is, like, basic swamp. It's like, oh, no, it's exiled.
Does he have a Croxa in the yard?
He does.
No.
So that's what I was like, it's one of those, like, oof. Like, it's down to the top draw. I was like, I didn't find on that turn. I'm like, it's bad for me, but, like, if I can find, like, a bridge, that buys you more turns, because then I can just put no cards in hand.
Right.
So, all right.
You played your outs.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know me. If I have outs, I'm going to play to them. If there's no outs for me.
So now you have to play Thopter Foundry, and then of course you're going to draw Sword or Whir. That's all.
If I draw a Whir, that's fine, because I have to go get a bridge, and then just sit there and wait. I hope he doesn't find an artifact destruction. So he's like, swing. Just like, yeah. So I'm like, yep. Yeah. Sack that. Go to 2. Block 1, and then block. Yep. So yeah, one of those dies well, sir. So like, yeah, the graph taker's
Lingering
cage.
souls. Ah!
I mean, like, just two early game lingering souls. That's what it was really
You're
just.
gonna lose.
I mean, I have outs here. It's like Thoughtseize. I'm like, oh, I had a Thought to Foundry in hand. Oh, that's why I didn't mind sacking it. That was a good Thoughtseize.
Yep.
Oh.
Book.
No.
It's book.
Yeah, the Underworld Cookbook, yeah. So if you didn't have a Thoughtseize, I would have definitely been able to, like, pull ahead there. So I was like, well, activate Whirza at this point. Like, hope I can find something to deal with the 1/1 flyer.
This book is a 1-drop, right?
It is a 1-drop. Or, like, something I would put a card in my hand.
Woo!
Woo! Bridge. I was like, cool. I was like, yep. Underworld Cookbook. Pass. So I'm like, I'm still alive!
Why didn't you swing with the...
I couldn't because Bridge was on the board.
Oh.
So I'm literally feigning artifact removal and he draws it. It's like, yep. So I was like, oh. I was like, yep. So I had a card in hand. I could have discarded and like gain 3 life by stacking the food.
Yeah, it's over.
So it's like, oh.
And over.
It was a good game though.
Yes, it
like
was.
both of us just had those buttholes clenched. That whole one.